Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera Hashgraph, or HBAR if you will. So a lot of people love the Hedera Hashgraph content, so obviously I'm going to keep you guys updated on it every single day. This is one of those assets that I do think that is more than ready to reach all-time highs. I actually talked about it multiple times on my Twitter as well. And this has been an asset that has been on my mind ever since I have found it, because it truly has endless potential, and the power that is actually behind Hedera Hashgraph is absolutely limitless. So with that being said, let's just jump into this. Let's actually talk about it, and let's analyze the overall price chart for HBAR. So with the overall market pullback today, it was expected. I've mentioned it multiple times. We're kind of back to prices from about roughly almost a week ago, and that's nothing too crazy. But the crazy part is about Hedera Hashgraph is while most of these altcoins are down significantly, for an example, like most assets dropped about like 50 plus cents and stuff. It's absolutely crazy to see. But we do see our lovely friend down here, Hedera Hashgraph, sitting at number 53. And we are still sitting around that 28-cent zone. And I do know that it sucks because we were nearly at about 35 cents. Things looked incredibly well, but it is what it is. I did say that we could see these lows, and we did see them. Now, the interesting thing about the overall price for HBAR right now is that the volume is up significantly. We nearly doubled our volume from the last couple of days. We were actually at 620 million. In terms of the volume flowing into Hedera Hashgraph, which is absolutely crazy to me. I don't know about you guys, but when we actually look at this realistically, we have bounced off of significant support, so we actually jumped down all the way to nearly about 22 cents exact, which is totally fine. We actually broke the 23-cent zone that I said that we should never break, but it is all good because we came back and jumped up into this nice support channel. So now I'm still expecting a nice overall retest of 33 cents before we do go higher. Like I said, we were nearly at 35 cents. Totally fine, totally healthy. This is one of those assets that I think that we should keep a close eye out on, because when it does move significantly. So I know that the recent action, even going back to May, hasn't been anything significant. There hasn't been anything special about it. But I do think that this is one of those assets similar to XRP, where we will see a major move in the market shift as we go into September, later, weeks, of course, because right now we are pretty much in the beginning of it. Now, I don't think that we will see any major moves where we go to like $1 plus or anything like that. But we could break some significant resistance points, break over some support zones, find support at solid zones like 30 cents, 33 cents plus, and so forth. But the interesting thing about HBAR is, like I said, when we talk about XRP at the last pretty much moments of the bull run of 2017, 2018, it jumped about 2,500%. So, I am not losing hope or anything like that in Hedera Hashgraph. I don't even need hope, right? The facts are there, okay? I'm not going to shoot you guys left or right, whatever. I'm going to shoot you guys straight. When we talk about that, we talk about the idea that HBAR is not like your typical assets. And I've said it multiple times. If you guys aren't buying this dip, then I don't know what to tell you, all right? And first off, yeah, sure, we can come down lower. We could do whatever the case may be. But overall, right, when we talk about HBAR and we talk about, what it has in it and what the potential behind it overall, I personally don't mind buying the dip here and DCAing down if we do go lower, which I don't think is quite the possibility. I think that we will range around here. We haven't broken significant levels on Bitcoin, and we actually even haven't broken significant levels even on HBAR, as we did retest almost the 22-cent zone exact, bounced significantly off of it, which is fairly good to see as well. And like I said, I think that this is just an easy overall asset to accumulate even at the current prices. So overall, we are still above the overall demand zone going back to the pre-pump in March of 2021. We are actually a little bit under this nice demand zone here during the pump of 2021 in March. And we are on significant overall price ranges going back to even April, even going back to pretty much even March. So I think that we're still in fairly good standings. I understand it sucks to see, us go to almost 35 cents plus and just kind of jump down and drop in price, but it is what it is. I warned you guys about it, and this is totally fine overall in this long term. In the short term, yeah, a lot of people are most likely concerned, but realistically, we look fairly strong, especially compared to most altcoins. Don't realistically, don't underestimate the potential behind this. So right now, we only dropped down roughly about 37%, which is only about 13 cents. Okay. Most altcoins are down significantly. For an example, if we go over here to the cryptocurrencies tab, we could see some are down 16%, 18%. And I understand that this 37% span is crazy on a realistic standpoint, but let's just go to BNB's chart, and I understand that these are just showing 16% and so forth, but that's actually at the jump in price, because even down here on Hedera Hashgraph, although this was a 37% of a drop in price from its lowest pinpoint today, if we actually look on here, we can see that we're only down about roughly 11.57% opposed to most of these other assets that are down 20% plus, 16%, 17% and so forth. So overall, even if I open up another tab here and we went to XRP's price chart, which I already did a video on XRP today, we are actually fairly strong in terms of the price action versus other assets like XRP, like ADA, like BNB, and so forth. So overall, this drop was more than welcome in my opinion. I think that this is actually healthy for us to move up even higher, especially even in terms of Bitcoin, which we will get into. But when we look at XRP's price chart, which I think that I do have the percentage drop in point here, so I actually don't. So let's actually just look at what the price drop was on this. So from this high up here to the bottom here was roughly about 36% as well. So overall, a lot of these assets did similar drops, but we also see here that this was a 50-cent drop compared to, a 13-cent drop. So I'd welcome a 13-cent drop. That's not bad. That's nothing too crazy. And honestly, we jumped fairly quick from those bottom levels. By the time that we closed out about at 27 cents. So we have held strong supports. We've found strong support even on the 22-cent zone. Broke down a little bit below the 23-cent zone, which is totally healthy, totally fine. I'm not too concerned with the price action on HBAR yet. I still think that we go higher very soon, and I still think the next target point is the all-time high. So on the short-term aspect, I still think everything looks good. I don't think that we go too much lower. If anything, we'll retest the 22 or the 200-day MA. We don't go back down to 22 cents most likely. Even in terms of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin has been showing some strength as well. We've been ranging on this nice support zone. This was actually down 20%. So we actually didn't drop too much in terms of Bitcoin's overall dominance at this point, because dominance was fairly high as well. But we have been ranging on some solid support. I would watch for the 200-day MA being broken on Bitcoin. So let me actually remove this X that did get broken eventually. But do watch for this, right? We don't want this line to be broken here. If we do, we'll most likely retest lower again and retest the 42K zone down here. If this is broken, we will retest 40K and so forth as the lines are showing you on the screen. So Bitcoin looks good. HBAR looks fairly solid. I didn't really do an in-depth analysis on both of these assets today, so I figured I would. In terms of Bitcoin dominance, yes, it is showing signs of strength. So this could be a very volatile week. So I wouldn't 100% go into entry points right now. Meaning I wouldn't, if I have, say for so $1,000 left on the side that I could invest and just throw in. If you're long-term, it doesn't really bother you too much. If you see your asset down a little bit, then yeah, sure, go ahead, ape in with that buy. But I'm just going to say it right now, we could see some volatile price action throughout the week, as today is Tuesday. Most likely we will see the weekend be a little bit volatile as well. Indices have been showing some weakness. The dollar has been showing some signs of strength as well, which is not good for us. Overall, things do look solid on the long-term aspect. It's just a little bit of volatility, to be completely honest with you, but it is expected. This is crypto at the end of the day. We've bounced off of some support on dominance. I still think that we are in a bearish zone. We'll most likely come up and we'll retest something like this, hit this, get rejected off of it, and eventually break this and pretty much retarget this 39.66% zone. If we don't reject off of this resistance point, then we most likely will reject off of this, as we did see it actually happen today, or yesterday if you will. Now, this was when Bitcoin was dropping in price, which is totally expected. Bitcoin dominance does range higher when Bitcoin itself is dropping. More so when it's pumping, sometimes it does range higher. That just means more money is flowing into Bitcoin. What we really want to see is Bitcoin move up while Bitcoin dominance is actually doing a collapsing fall. But overall, like I said, the dollar is showing some signs of strength. We are ranging on some support here. I do think that the dollar is trying to find support here, which is not good for us. In indices, like I said, the Dow Jones did close fairly strong, fairly bad today in terms of strength. It lost a little bit of strength. It is down about 270 points. We do see the S&P 500 down about 15.4 points. We do see that the NASDAQ did make some moves, which is totally fine. But overall, the indices look a little weak. So I'm going to be watching the stocks tomorrow. I'm going to be watching the dollar tomorrow, and I will update you guys accordingly as we do range throughout the week. But I do think that HBAR, again, is showing signs of strength. I think that it looks strong. We've re-grasped the overall idea of this nice support zone here. And even recently, on drops with HBAR, we haven't shown this much strength in terms of a jump. And also, like I said, the volume has increased significantly. And that should never be undermined, because we are up nearly 100% on the volume aspect. So I am very bullish still on Hedera Hashgraph. Like I said, if you guys do want to buy this, I think that this is a low risk, high reward factor here. I think that from these current prices, we will 10x. So it is up to you guys if you want to buy here. If you can handle, short-term volatility, go ahead. Entry point is solid. I think that this is a very good entry point, especially even for, when you're considering the 1 month low. It's about 7 cents in terms of the 1 month. Even if you go look back on the 3 month span, these lows, these prices here go all the way back to even August. So it's up to you guys if you want to wait for a pullback, but this looks fairly strong to me. If you actually look at this, because even if you look at it from this pinpoint here, we topped out a little bit, came back down, retested it, we topped out here, and retested the bottom here too. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys don't want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out.